Good evening, everyone. It's 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. My name is Longevity John, and I'll be the host for yet another fantastic live broadcast from the Duncan Showroom, located in wonderful downtown Duncan. Yes, a little place nestled in the mid-island of Vancouver Island. We've been known for our live streams over the last 4 or 5 years. We've been quite proficient at it and been having a lot of fun advancing ourselves as much as we can. And so we like to bring these little showcases to you, specifically of island musicians. And one of the things that the showroom was put together for was for singer-songwriters, specifically Willie P. Bennett. But in that line, that singer-songwriters should be heard. So the venue was set up so that it would always be an audience that was there willing to listen, not jabber, not talk about things that weren't prevalent, but just to go on the journey that the songwriter would take you on. Now, that song you heard as the intro was a Chris Andre song, and he is, in fact, a singer-songwriter from the island. And if you had to define him, I think some people might go to the line of outlaw country. But it's just music with a feel. There have been people before him that have done it in certain styles, and I hate always saying that, you know, to some of the big stars, that style, you know, like that Willie Nelson or that, there's some of the names just escape me right now. But it's not so much, it's that they found a way to put their songs across that really hit to the humankind, to the common man. And Chris Andre is pretty good at that. And tonight he's going to give you a little session here. And I think we're going to have the privilege of hearing some songs that are just fresh off the penmanship. It's been a while since he's been able to get into the studio. What do you do when you're in a pandemic, right? So tonight, he's going to give us some of that. And I'm looking quite forward to it. We're just about ready to go. One little technicality. Yeah. We got it there. We're just about ready. We'll get the camera onto you in a second. But anyway, his name is Chris Andre. He's just in one of these things where everybody jumps in and votes for him, right? But when I saw some of the names that were out there, I just realized, wow, he's going to get a whole new market just by being part of that. And that's one of the things he wants to do, is make sure his music gets out there, because he believes in what he does, and we believe in him. Chris Andre, take it away.
Thank you, John. Well, I'll just say a few things here. It's going to be a little bit different tonight. I was just going to come down and blast through a set. But then I thought, well, just before this pandemic shut everything down, I had just entered the studio to start recording my 6th solo album, and we were very excited about it. But, things happen, and we had to shut her down. Unfortunately, I'm a writer, so once I say I'm going to start writing an album, that doesn't stop. I just keep writing. And since I can't even rehearse with my bands or do any of that, I've just been writing. So I thought, and I also get a lot of emails from people and a lot of messages asking me about songwriting. And I often, that's a personal thing. But I figured, well, you know what? We're in a strange new world. So I'm going to do a bit of a Ted Cadillac talk, and we're going to play some songs, and we'll talk about songs, and we'll just kind of have a good time for a bit here. First one I'm going to do, we all know that John Prine passed recently, and if you're a songwriter, John Prine looms large in your world. But a couple of months before he did pass, I thought, I'm going to write a song, and I'm going to kind of give it a bit of a Prine feel. I don't know if I did it, but I'll let you guys decide. I did my time, I paid my dues, a hell of a lot more than I wanted to. But that's the life that I chose. I drink all night, I sleep all day. It doesn't matter anyway. No one gets out of here alive. I'm looking for beauty in the faded landscape, trying to right the wrongs from the mistakes I have made. I ain't no schoolboy, I've seen a thing or two. I just want you to know that I'll be there for you. Endless highways, faceless crowds, there has to be more to life than this. I've said that 1,000 times or more. But the road's in my soul, I guess, a little more, a little less, depends on the day of the week. I'm looking for beauty in the faded landscape, trying to right the wrongs from the mistakes I have made. I ain't no schoolboy, I've seen a thing or two. I just want you to know that I'll be there for you. I'm looking for beauty in a faded landscape, trying to right the wrongs from the mistakes I have made. I ain't no schoolboy, I've seen a thing or two. I just want you to know that I'll be there for you. So that is that. That one's kind of a pridey one. I think it is, but you know, everybody hears stuff different. I feel like I don't even have to really lean on the mic, but I probably do. Let's do something weird here. Now I'm getting into my book. See, this book, let me just show it to you here. That's where the fresh meat is. That's where the stuff I just started mining is. So let's get into it and see what I've come up with in the last couple of days. And it's full. But I think, let's go here. All right. Now here, let's talk about songwriting. I saw a movie about a month ago. I think it was called Jump Rabbit, and it's about this little kid in Germany, World War II, and his imaginary friend is Adolf Hitler. Yeah. Now, I liked the term Jump Rabbit. I didn't necessarily, you know, the movie was fun and all that, but I didn't want to write a song about World War II. So I thought about what if I'm just actually writing about something a little different, but kind of under those, the guise of that. Let's see if and this is a fresh write, so let's just see if I can get through it. Jump rabbit, run through the woods, you know the wolf is coming. Lay low, avoid the crow, he will give you away. Life's cruel, don't be a fool, carry a card in your vest. Have fun, always trust your gun, let fate take care of the rest. Because life goes on. What the hell's the matter with you? I can put it into song. Only you can help you. Hey, you don't have a clue, not a worry in your head. Stay clean, stay mean, or you could wind up dead. A new dawn lets you roll on, it don't mean nothing. The wolf howls as the sun goes down and those woods begin to sing. Because life goes on. What the hell's the matter with you? I can't put it into song. Only you can help you. Hey, horse, steady as you go, you know the ocean's raging. Stay sharp, fast as a shark, we'll keep the home fires burning. Jump rabbit, run through the woods, you know the wolf is coming. Lay low, avoid the crow, he will give you away. because life goes on. What the hell's the matter with you? I can put it into song. Only you can help you. So that, you know, so this is, so what I'm doing here really is I'm showing you the process, man. Like, and I'll continue to do that throughout the evening. I'm doing a 5-hour set here tonight, folks. So I'll probably be out here in like 45. You know. Now, let's jump back here, or let's jump ahead here. I like doing this stuff, man. This is fun. Usually I'm just sitting by myself these days, you know. You can't get together with your fellas. To all the people I jam and play music with, how you doing out there if you're watching? People that I know out there that are watching, thank you for tuning in. To my audience member here, thank you, my love. Now I want to say another thing. The reason I come down here, and usually when I'm in songwriting, I do not leave the nest. I pretty much buckle down. I don't do a lot of shows because I'm trying to get an album written, but it's in strange new days, as I said. But when John calls, I come. He actually called me last week, but my allergies were acting up, and I didn't want to come down here and sneeze on his stage and, you know, have people lose their minds. So I did cancel. But when he got back to me and said, "How about this week?" I said, "Yeah, you can't turn this man down twice. That's career suicide." But the beauty of it is I thought, well, I'm going to come down. You know, I'm going to do this. I'm going to just kind of play new songs that I don't even know myself, but we're going to see if they work. That's what you do. It's like a comedian. Before you do the big show, you go out and you play all the clubs and you figure out what's the good one and what's a bomb. So hopefully, you know, I'm not going to have too many bombs here. Is what I'm saying. Okay, thank you. Now, I did it right. Now, here's one thing, too. I got a friend, Trisha Richardson. I'm going to tell you this story. It's a good one. In 2019, I did an album called Loners and Stoners. And, and it got nominated for a British Columbia, BCCMA. It's like a Country Music Association Award. It was nominated for a Traditional Album of the Year. And Washboard Union took it, so they're good guys. I've opened up for them. They're good dudes. They deserved it. But because I got the nomination, I was also asked to go do what's called a songwriter's circle. And in the industry, basically what that is you get 5 or 6 songwriters, and they sit in a line and they play their stuff. They play their songs and they sell them, and and I happened to be asked to participate in that with some great Canadian artists, Chris Buck, A.J. Jardine, like a lot of really, just a lot of great people. Afterwards, and this was just really for kind of industry people, but afterwards, a lady contacted me, and her name was Trisha Richardson, and she said, "Hey, I wrote this song," and she's a songwriter herself, and she manages artists, and she said, "When I saw you play, there was a song I have that I thought would fit your voice and what you do." So she sent me the words and said, "If you can throw some chords on this, we'll call it a co-write." And this was the first single we did in the studio before COVID shut it all down. So I thought I'll just kind of see if I can get through this one. Well, I ain't the first to have loved and lost. I sure as hell won't be the last. But since she's gone, I've had blinders on, and the hurt's coming on real fast. I used to be able to soothe my sorrow with a couple of hours and a Daniel's bottle. But not this time, not this time. Don't bother to buy me a drink, man, even though I'm broke down broke. Go on and pass me by when you won't smoke that smoke. I know it's Saturday night since my baby said bye. I'm much too low to get high. I'm much too low to get high. I should have seen that train wreck coming, to jump the track with no regrets. I could taste the leaving on her lips, I could smell another man's whiskey on her breath. When she walked out after our last fight, I called on sweet Mary Jane to get me right. But not this time. No, not this time. Don't bother to buy me a drink, man, even though I'm broke, damn broke. Go on and pass me by when you all smoke that smoke. I know it's Saturday night, but since my baby said bye, I'm much too low to get high. I'm much too low to get high. Don't bother to buy me a drink, man, even though I'm broke, damn broke. Go on and pass me by when you all smoke that smoke. I know it's Saturday night, but since my baby said bye, I'm much too low to get high. I'm much too low to get high. Yeah, that's Trisha did that. Yeah. Oh. How you doing over there, John?
Oh, I think he went upstairs.
Ah, that he always leaves me. That's okay. I've been on my own for. Well, let's have a little fun. Now, I got a lineup, and one of the guys in the band that I got right now is a real R&B guy. Like that's his wheelhouse. So I got a southern rock guitar player now for the new album, and an R&B guy. And the R&B guy asked if I can do anything, if I could write something that's got a little bit of that feel. So let's just see if I can do that. So I tried to do that for him. It's taking a while now. 40 years in the desert to admit I'm insane. Yeah. I'm crazy for you. And suddenly, Lord, it's a bright new day. Well, yeah, I ain't no believer in a deceiver, but I gotta tell you, I'm crazy for you. And suddenly, Lord, it's a bright new day. There have been times, and there have been signs But what I really want to say, I'm crazy for you. And suddenly, Lord, it's a bright new day. Yeah.
Wow.
I was out of tune there. I was out of tune. I'm going to tune this thing up.
Well, I got that one has a definite R&B feel to it. Your roots, where were your roots of like? What were your initial songs that grabbed you and made you think about being a songwriter?
As a young dude, man, I often like gospel singers. I like that type of vocal. But like Southern, just there's something about that Southern style, where they lean into the notes.
Oh, they do, yeah.
And they lean into the melody, and that's probably I love that. And so that would be I would say that would be my.
Well, you're definitely a singer and a songwriter.
Well,
you sure
that can be argued.
those songs that you write. It's really kind of. By the way, Darth says hello, and so does Whalenizer.
Well, hey, say hello to them for me.
One's from Surrey, one's over there in the.
Oh, hey, Wade, how you doing, brother? Is that Wade you're talking about?
Yeah.
Right, cool, man.
And also, I think Darth's from the base of Burnaby Mountain.
Nice. All right. Well, for you guys watching online and for our audience members here.
Our audience member.
We have one audience member.
We have an audience member because this is the lady, Marcia Todd, who has is very much a huge supporter of the arts financially in the Valley in various places like Chemainus Theatre and things like that, some of the bigger things. But she caught wind of the showroom. She's a neighbor down the street here as a business, and she came up and watched a few shows, and she's just loving the heck out of it. And so over the last eight or 9 months, she's been very helpful for us in financial ways to help us when we're down and out and we're not able to make the rent. She's always there, but one of the things is that she gets to see as many shows as she wants, and she's here almost every day on a regular schedule.
Thank you.
And her eyes have opened up to all styles of music that she would never have known about before. And at the end of each one, I get a phone call. She says, "Wasn't that just fantastic?" Because she only lives 7 minutes away, right?
Yeah, beautiful. Well, here's the thing, too. I want to say this right while I'm standing here. If you're watching this right now and taking this in, if you've got a few bucks, I want you. There's a way to donate to the Duncan Showroom, and I'm here because I want to see this place thrive. John and Ted and everybody that's associated with this venue, they do it for love. Like, they're not making money; they're losing. John's been losing money probably. How long, John?
Well, 16 years.
There it is. So so if you can throw a few bucks, it helps keep the lights on. Because I'll tell you something: with this new reality that we live in, the opportunity to see live music is going to be different for a while. And we need places like this. They're very important. I'll tell you something. Go through one day of your life without any music in it, and see how you feel about that. I think you'll understand the importance of maintain. The society is only as healthy as its artists and how they're treated. So, speaking of Jump Rabbit, we talk about a time when people burn books and burn records and destroy the arts. It's a way to keep people from connecting and becoming communal and feeling like they're part of something bigger. So this room is really important. All rooms that support live music are important. But a room like this is a catch-all. Like, a lot of artists coming from that are on tour will stop by and play here. It's an important venue, and we're going to keep this place going. So if you're watching right now, I want you to donate whatever you can. I'm not going to put a number on it, but make it beefy.
Well, there's one thing I've always liked to say is, when I started this out, all I had was 150 soft seat theater seats, which I got for free. So basically, I started out with nothing, and over 16 years, I've been managed to still come up with nothing, and I just keep on reinvesting it.
I was just going to say, I started out with nothing, and you still have most of it.
Still have most of it left. I just keep on reinvesting it. It works.
You're a genius, my friend.
Thank you very much.
You're a genius, man.
I appreciate that coming from you.
Well, I'll tell you something.
Mr. Knife Thrower.
Ah, that's right, man.
I don't know if any of you have ever watched him on Facebook or if you're familiar with what he does. One of his pastimes
Yeah.
is knife throwing, which is it's when you take a certain amount of paces back from a log that you've set up, and it's a wonderful sport. I used to do when I was younger, and he almost encouraging me to start up again.
Yeah.
Because there's just something.
I'll bring you some
to
blades.
when you are in control. It's like an arrow or anything else.
Yep.
It's when you're in control of something that you send out and it lands exactly the way it is.
Yep.
Every time he shows some of the shots, I know the excitement that's going through him.
Well, it's because it's like it's focus. It's
It's
total
Zen.
focus. It is Zen. It's meditation. It's I have a large group of friends that throw, and it's a worldwide thing. If you've never thrown a knife in your life, I suggest run down to Cabela's or get a butter knife, throw it in a pizza box. But I mean, once you get that thunk, that first stick in there, you'll be hooked. And a lot of times it's just nice when you're having a bad day. Get out through a few blades. Imagine who you're mad at. Yeah.
Well, we
right.
won't go further into that subject.
Okay, so speaking of songwriting,
So what he does is he writes songs about those feelings.
sometimes I do. Here's one, and so songwriting. So sometimes a song will come with just a line. Like, I was watching there was a show in the background. I was reading a book on knife throwing, and there was a show on in the background. And they were talking to an inmate. He was doing life for killing a dude. And what he said is, he goes, well, I just didn't come from a good line. And that's led me down the path. And I thought, well, that line is I didn't come from a good line. That's a song somewhere in there. So you can take a line, and I'll show you. This line will actually come into the chorus here. But around that line, I built a song. So let's just see how that worked out. Hang on. All right. Sometimes I get tired of running. This old road gets hard on me. I could just lay down and go to sleep. Let it all just drift away. Didn't come from a good line. Chaos and fear, it followed me. Chased my dreams and faced my demons. Well, the reaper courted me. You're only as good as your word. I've met many that ain't that way. I'm not saying I ain't done wrong. I don't need to explain. I didn't come from a good line. Chaos and fear, it followed me. Chased my dreams and faced my demons. Well, the reaper courted me. After all is said and done, only memories remain. Try not to do no harm as you head out on your way. I didn't come from a good life. Chaos and fear, it followed me. Chased my dreams and faced my demons. Well, the reaper courted me. All right. So what's next? I don't have a set list. I have no clue what I'm doing. I'm just going to have a drink of water.
Well, that's the nice thing about this show, and what I'm liking about these 5 p.m., 6 p.m. shows, and highlighting the songwriting ability, saying that Jeff Plankenhorn last night is the ability to tell some of the stories in between and actually get that inside line as to where the songs come from. I mean, we know the imagery that the words give to us, but sometimes knowing where the birth is of that song came from is kind of neat.
True that. Here's a good case in point. There's a lot of singer-songwriters out there that kind of exist under the radar. I could sit here and go on forever about how many that I respect. But there's one guy that I do like, and he's an American guy. His name's Billy Don Burns. If you've never heard of him, look up the name, check him out. He is legit as they get. But I don't think I'm saying too much here, but a couple of years ago, he got into some trouble. And let me just tell you about him. He used to write with Waylon Jennings. So he was Waylon Jennings' protege. And he's still out there on the road. He's 69, 70, and he's still on the road, and he rides his Harley Davidson from show to show. He doesn't have a tour bus. He does nothing fancy. Straps his guitar to the back of his Harley, and he tours across the United States endlessly. Even to this day, even under the shutdown of Corona, he'll go to somebody's garage. That's as crazy as it gets. But he's put out some brilliant albums, and he's a great guy. But so I was thinking about him when I was going to work on this song. This song's called "Old Country Singer," and it harkens to a time when you got people out there doing work, and I won't get too much into the weeds on this one because the lyrics are pretty self-explanatory. But let's give it a go. Talking balls, he makes his living playing songs, but no one's listening. He once wrote hits for up-and-comers, but times pass by like fall to winter. He ain't complaining or asking for pity. He's lived more lives than most men will know. He's loved hard and lost, but the pain never lingers. Just another night in the life of an old country singer. He's done some time in prison, he has done some hard living. Gambled it mostly away, breaking hearts on the lost highway. He ain't complaining or asking for pity. He lived more lives than most men will know. He's loved hard and lost, but the pain never lingers. Just another night in the life of an old country singer. Yes, in the end, we all make our choices, and each one comes with a price we must pay. Can he rise to the challenge of his endless night rider? Will he fold his cards and go away? He ain't complaining or asking for pity. He lived more lives than most men will know. He's loved hard and lost, but the pain never lingers. Just another night in the life of an old country singer. That silence, it's deadly. A friend of mine, yeah.
You wait for this, but wait till the end of the show when people ask for an encore. You know what the sound of one hand clapping is?
Yes.
You're going to find out, because if anybody wants an encore, how are we going to know except that they show us online that they're clapping?
So, a friend of mine, his name is Donnie Boyd. Hey, Donnie, if you're watching. If you're not, you're missing out, brother.
Donnie Boyd?
Donnie. No, Donnie, he was the, he ran the VIX for years. He did all the, so Don is a good friend of mine, and what I like about Don, too, is I was hosting a, it's kind of, it's like a country idol contest where you got singers in there coming up and doing country songs, and, you know, you win a prize. And they asked me, well, I think I actually asked them, hey, why don't you let me come down and judge this? I play that kind of music. And they said, of course. Thank you. So I came down, and then I met Don, and I got up and I did a song. They wanted me to get up and do a song. And then Donnie afterwards said, hey, I dig what you do. Let's talk. I might be able to get you a show. And I said, you know, of course. Yeah, of course. Anyways, he ended up getting me, I think, 2 or 3 years in a row at the VIX, opening for great big bands, and or big Canadian bands. And he's also a songwriter, and he's got a couple of albums out himself. So
he actually did a CD release here. He
Yeah.
came down.
Yeah.
He's familiar with the showroom. It was a great time.
Yeah. But he sent me a song, and he said, listen, I'm not putting any pressure on you. Of course, I felt that pressure immediately. No, I didn't feel that. But he sent me a song, and I love the tune. He's a great songwriter. One thing about me and him, too, also, is we both love the Beatles. So when he sends me something, I immediately think it's a John Lennon thing. And so, but he sent me this tune and said, you know, I just want to know what you think of it, and maybe just do an acoustic recording and send it back to me so I can just kind of. So I did, and he came back and he said, okay, so if you want to do that on your next record, I'd be happy to do that. And I said, yeah, man, of course, it's a great song. So I'm going to do it, and here we go. I'm not a superhero, I ain't that good. I would be the villain, y'all enemy if I could. I'm not your superhero, I'm not your superhero. Not a superhero, yes, I am that bad. You got your hands full, the worst you ever had. I'm not your superhero, I'm not your superhero. You better go, 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 find a hero. Not a superhero, I don't think that I'm that strong. One of my strengths is, you know, I'm never wrong. I'm not your superhero, I'm not your superhero. You better go, 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 find a hero. You better go, 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 find your hero. Yeah. Yeah, when I first heard it, I was almost like, I don't think I have it in here, but maybe kind of almost reminded me of, let's just see. And you at home, this isn't a performance, so don't you get all pissed off that I'm dicking around like this. We're having fun. Okay. This is, I'm not going to do the whole song. I'll just do a verse here. As soon as you're born, they make you feel small. By giving you no time, instead of it all. The pain is so big, you feel nothing at all. A working class hero, something to be. A working class hero, something to be. So there was right away I felt that connection.
Now, have you ever recorded that song?
Working Class Hero?
Yeah.
No.
Wow, you should. It works with you really well.
Thank you.
It's a very powerful, and you bring life to it. Now, has any of your band, heard any of these songs yet?
What I do is basically what I'm doing here. I will just sit in my studio, my little private isolation studio, and I will put my phone out and I'll record myself playing them, and then I will send them to them, and then they'll work with them, and then when we can't get together, we'll pound it all out. I mean, what I wanted to do, and I'm going to give everybody some free advice. If you're a musician right now, here's some free advice, man. If you can release one song a month. And put it out, release it ever. Because if you want to have a hit song, you've got much better chance of having a hit song if you're putting something out every month than waiting a year and putting an album out. And I've done it both. So on this project, the idea was we were going to do a song a month and release it. But then, COVID hit, and but that's the idea. So for me, this is perfect because, I'm writing all the time. So I can put a song out a month for the next, till they put me in a pine box.
Well, knowing your band, because you've played here before with the full band, I know your steel player must be just freaking out wanting to get into the studio with some of these songs.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, they got to be chomping at the bit, because I can just hear the fullness of what your band does for you.
Yeah. Well, for example, Louis, the guitar player. Hey, Louis. He's just been in lockdown on slide. He has just been obsessed with slide guitar. So, I don't know when we get in the studio, I don't know what we're going to be coming up with. It's going to be nuts. I think it's going to be incredible. But this downtime, that's not bad. A lot of people, I know it's tough to be stuck in the house or to be, to try and social distance and stuff. But, you got to do what you got to do, right? Remember this. I have a European background. And plagues used to go through Europe all the time. And people just knew. King Edward knew, hide out in your room for 6 weeks, wait for it to pass. So, we're a little spoiled. Anybody that's been in jail will know that self-isolation is awesome. Because if you've ever been in the joint, you'll know that...
it's just time.
That sucks.
It's just time.
It's just, yeah. You're dead. That's called doing dead time. You're in self-isolation right now. You have your computer. You have your... TV, you have your Netflix, you have your fridge full of whatever you choose to put in it. For me, it's beer. Beer and knives.
Hey, I just spent $4.20 the whole month of April. Anyway, we won't go into that.
And weed. Is it legal to say weed now?
Oh, we better be. Although,
That's that was funny.
On October 16th, I went to bed 2 years ago, and it was... I by smoking marijuana and holding it in possession and stuff like that, I was breaking 7 different laws. I woke up the next day; it was legalized, but I was able to break it 43 ways.
Well, listen, me and you've had these discussions many times. It is the best medicine you will ever find.
Hey.
That is not, pharmaceutically kind of constructed. So.
Yes. Well, I've noticed I've had flare-ups with MS, and
Yes.
I've noticed that it's really, there are moments when people around me have witnessed, if I come up from a nap, which I have to take lots of,
Yeah.
my body just isn't there. And within 5 minutes of inhaling, you can just see my whole body just change over. It's a wonderful thing. But, I am having a problem with medical marijuana.
I think we all are.
Well, it's in conflict with my recreational use.
Yeah.
Sorry about that.
What you have to figure out now is how to combine the two.
I'm working on it.
He's like Willie Nelson. He really is. Now here I'll do a song here, and this one, this one's been around for a while. I wrote this a while ago, but I lost it. But I came across it again, and I liked it. Now I recorded this song years ago, and I had a sax player come in, and so I'd pre-sent him an acoustic version of it, and he said, "Oh, yeah, it's a great song." He goes, it's weird though. It's like you wrote a song about a serial killer, and I went, "It's not a song about a serial killer, man. It's a song about slipping into the great unknown." Then I looked at the lyrics. I went, "Yeah, I guess you could say it maybe feels a little bit like that at the beginning, but I'll do it, and we'll just see." Well, he just walked in like he owned the place. He knew every face in the crowd. There was no doubt what his business was, and she followed him into the night, into that cold and lonely night, where they slowly disappear, into that cold and lonely night. It's a ghost's misery and fear. A woman puts charms upon a man. A man will do all that he can. When the loving's gone, there ain't no love song. They will bring that woman home again. Into that cold and lonely night, as you head off on your own. Into that cold and lonely night, just you and your ghosts all alone. Where the story's the same, it's centuries old. The only thing that changes is time. And just when we think we've got it all figured out, well, it's off into that great unknown. Into that cold and lonely night, they slowly disappear. Into that cold and lonely night, the ghosts of misery and fear. Aw, how you doing on the other side of that curtain there, brother?
Well, I'll tell you, it's hard. I'm just expecting, humongous applause after each song, because if there was people in here, they would be as enamored by what you're doing as we are here. And you've got a spellbound. It's just wonderful songs, wonderful delivery. Maybe you think we could maybe do this next month again?
Yeah, we can do this as much as you want.
Okay.
I'm here on
Okay, tomorrow morning, about 7:00.
Okay.
No, just joking.
Well,
But you know, hey, here's the thing: is you know that maybe none of the people watching are aware, but we have a little thing around here. It's called the 39 Days of July, a rather long music festival in a rather fun place to be. It's our 9th year of putting on 39 days of music in a row from noon till 8 daily, and then we add extra shows on Wednesdays and any other night we feel like it. So we're usually up around 330, 340 shows in 39 days.
Oh, yeah.
And Chris, I want you, we've had you every year, and I'm sure hope that even though this year we can't do one because everyone's been, this whole distancing thing, we can't get in large groups. So we're going to live stream our festival this year from the Duncan Showroom here. And we would love it if we can, if you would come down and be a part of that, especially on our Country Music Appreciation Day.
Yes.
That's August 2nd this year.
I think I was already going to be coming down for that, and I'll be here.
Yeah,
and
you are.
any time you need me,
I'm
this
just
is
letting
home
everybody
for
else
me.
know that you'll be here for that.
I can come down here, whenever you need me, and do exactly what we're doing right now, playing some songs, having some fun, having a few laughs.
Isn't that true? You're just, we're just going through this earlier. Are you up the road in Bowser, or are you just down the road to Bowser?
I'm from here. I'm up the road,
Okay.
and then if I'm coming here, I'm coming down the road.
Right.
Is what I think. I could be wrong. I mean, what's up, what's down?
Is that anything like that Flatlander stuff?
Yeah. Well, yeah, I guess that's Saskatchewan, where it's, or what's that, Red Deer, where they shut the town up at 6 p.m.
Oh, yes.
We played in Red Deer. I was on tour a couple of years ago and played in Red Deer, and we wanted to grab some beers before we played, and they said, well, there's only one place in Red Deer you can grab beer after 6 p.m. And it's literally, it's like looks like an old, like a storefront. And then you walk in the foyer, it's all bars. And then you got to say to the guy what you want, and he hands you the booze through the bars, and you hand him the money. Red Deer, man, it sounds like a tough town. We had a good time there. All right, let's do a couple more here. So let's talk about songwriting. So I watched that movie. Have you ever seen the movie The Outsiders? Or read the book? What is it? Hinton, who wrote it? But anyways, it's based in the 50s, and it's about the greasers and saw. It's like, if you go look it up, Outsiders. But there's one scene in there when one of the actors, Matt Dillon, went in and robbed a gas station, and that scene just came back to me. But I thought, we saw Matt Dillon's point of view on that robbery, but what about the guy behind the till? Like, what was going through his mind when he was being robbed and probably killed that night? And I thought, well, I'll write a song from that guy's perspective. Who cares? I think it's neat. So this is about being on the other side of being robbed, which is weird coming from a guy like me. But before I do that, I'm going to tune up because Ted hates it when I don't. It's that B string. Lord, who put that gun in your hand? You don't seem like a happy man. I know that life can take its toll, but I see sadness where there used to be a soul. I've got a son around your age, but he's not filled with all your rage. There's a reckoning coming, I guess. Well, I was young and I was wild. You would have been just a child. Well, I did things I needed to. I broke the law a time or two. But I've got a son around your age, but he's not filled with all that rage. There's a reckoning coming, I guess. I have a family at home. I hope you have some people too. I can only offer you some change. I hope you take it with you. I've got a son around your age, and he's not filled with all that rage. There's a reckoning coming, but I'm just a night clerk. Just a night clerk.
Wow, another great song. Hey,
right.
Chris, we've taken up our hour.
Okay.
But I'd like you to do another song.
Okay.
Not sure other people would. I know that we got a bunch of people that are just now signing on and saying they're watching. So I want to let people who may have come in late to realize, and even the people who are watching now,
And
that
donate.
This will be archived on YouTube and that you can watch it again. And what we've noticed is that there's a number of people who watch it during the live performance. And then within 24 hours, it's usually double, triple sometimes as the audience starts getting a chance to see it and friends pass it on to other people. And all the way through that whole process, even after, it's like when you go to a movie and you like the movie and you want to go back and see it again, just because you're seeing it 2 or 3 times, you still got to pay the full price each time, right?
Yeah.
At least I reckon it, right?
And remember, people, if you're watching this now, or if you're watching this tomorrow, if you're watching this a year from now, hit the link and donate, please. Like we need these places to stay open.
We've had over 300,000 views of the streams we've had up, and because of this latest pandemic, we've actually doubled what we were normally getting as donations.
Yeah.
Like $560 for 300,000 views.
$500 already?
Yeah.
Whoa.
Not today, but in other times, over this period of doing
John,
shows. And that's just, if everyone donated $1.
Yeah, totally. You'd be able to get that new pool cue you've had your eye on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll be able to get the razor blade to shave the other half.
I don't know if it seems to me you got a bit of growth coming out of that.
Yeah, I know. It's
right
a
side.
dilemma right now. It's been a pandemic. No one's seen it. So I'm sort of growing the other side back. And then I got to thinking maybe one day I just might tell everyone I trim this side and just take it off and just come back with the other side halved. But you never know because I never know. That's the best part about it.
That's beautiful.
But it is a good looking beard as a beard goes.
As somebody that has a beard, I can appreciate your beard.
It's hard to let it go. It was Halloween 3 years ago. I dressed up as the average Canadian voter, undecided.
When I first saw that you'd shaved half your beard off, I thought, that's the craziest shit I ever seen. I love that, man.
Yeah, well.
I just love that. That's balls of steel. That's just brass balls of steel. Brass and steel mixed together. Yeah. All right, well, let's do one. We'll do another song here.
Oh, by the way, before we do that,
yeah,
I just want to big shout out to Dr. Ted Cadillac. We call him Dr. Ted Cadillac, not necessarily a doctor, but he is the man doing the sound. He's also the man who's making sure the room sound is fantastic. Yeah. What's going to the stream is a whole nother mix that he has to do. All the camera work, all the switching of the cameras is done by Ted while he's doing that, and he's also doing the lights while he's doing that. It's just
he's the man.
There's the lights. Watch him go. Yeah,
he is the man. All right, well, I'll do something that off the last album. This one's called "Blame It on the Blues," and what's weird is I haven't been playing any of my old stuff because I'm writing, so I'm kind of like I can't remember my new stuff and I can't remember my old stuff, and that's what makes me special. Usually hits me in the morning. It takes my breath away. Never healing, always grieving over all the things I didn't say. I can blame it on the booze. I can blame it on the blues. I can blame it on anything at all, but I can't blame it all on you. This old bottle ain't my savior. No, this old bottle, Lord, it ain't my friend. But it keeps my mind off all those things it never were, could have been. I can blame it on the booze. I can blame it on the blues. I can blame it on anything at all, but I can't blame it all on you. Every day I get a little stronger, but every day I get a little older too. Seems these nights keep getting longer. Ain't a damn thing that I can do. I can blame it on the blues. I can blame it on the blues. I can blame it on anything at all, but I can't blame it all on you. No, I can't blame it all on you. No, I can't blame it all on you. All right, folks, thank you very much for tuning in. Remember, send some money our way. You know what I'm saying.
Ladies and gentlemen, you just spent a wonderful hour with Chris Andre. Remember that name if it's the first time you've heard it, and make sure other people find out about him. A great, soulful, outlaw country singer. Songwriter as well. But man, your singing's blowing me away. What a great night. Night, y'all.
Good night, Bob. All right, thanks, guys. We'll talk to you soon.